Well, greetings. This is Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Network's Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. It's a mouthful because we are such powerful women and we have a lot to say. We're using our voices. And in honor of today's broadcast, I wore my little Texas tie for talking about the fellows. So a little shout out to our fellows. So I'd love to do a very, very brief replay, just a quick update on what we've been doing in the Women's Coaching and Consulting Council, and jump right into our discussion with Cristina DiGiacomo. So here we go. Let me just share my screen and come on over to our presentation. We're so glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So welcome, Cristina. Our topic today, we're talking about how to attract more fellows into your business, because it's a very important thing to diversify not only our offers, but our audience. Hello, yes, that's important. And I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Network's Women's Coaching and Consulting Council and the Women's Success Accelerator year-long program. And the very, very new, might I announce here, the Women's Corporate Coaching Success Accelerator for women who want to crack the code on becoming corporate coaches. Oh, we're so excited about that. And the whole theme of our back to school biz boot camp for the last 11 days has been about, the kids are going back to school. We coaches and consultants, trusted advisors, thought leaders, and people in general, we've got to get back to school again and remembering the fun of learning and growing and being with our peeps. Yes, that's part of school too. So I want to go over, we've had an amazing 2 weeks now. Wow, it's been so intense, 27 minutes a day. And the number 27 means new beginnings and new adventures. So we're excited about 27 minutes. We've had topics like, what's your big why for yourself and your business? What's your big why for your clients? What do you want for them? What's your big vision for the work you do for them? And of course, always, what's their big why? We talked about that on our first day. We then went into powerful triplex listening with your ears, listening with your eyes, your heart, your soul, listening for what your clients are not saying. Oh, it's powerful. And of course, all these broadcasts are on our YouTube channel. We then moved into monetizing your visionary thought leadership, because that's the whole goal here. As the wonderful Sheila A. Anderson says, if people don't know you, they can't hire you. They need to know you before they need you. So it's important for us all to be out there as visionary thought leaders. We then went into Coach Consultant Swagger. Wow, powerful program. In our council, we did the world's first Coach Consultant Swagger survey, and confidence is the number one attribute of having swagger. And so watch the replay. We download the whole the information on that survey. It was really good, and how you can have more of it. Attraction marketing, about the benefits, savvy sales secrets. Yes, we went to the third rail on this, ladies. We said, stop calling yourself a coach. Okay. How about a business strategist? How about a listening partner? How about a trusted advisor? How about a specialist? How about an expert? Hello. So think about changing your title. Watch that broadcast. It was amazing. And then, of course, mastering the enrollment conversation, using the GROW model, discussing what are your clients and prospects' goals, their reality, what are their options in W, what's next. So that whole segment was really amazing. And then finish 2022 strong and successful. The 4 keys you need in order to finish this year powerfully, profitably, and set yourself up for success next year. Oh, it was amazing. And of course, why are we doing all this? To be seen, be heard, and richly rewarded. So all of this is to get us out there, get our books published, speak in front of large groups, small groups. And we had an amazing program yesterday with our very own esteemed faculty member, Sheila Anderson. Oh my goodness, Sheila, it was fabulous. Thank you. Thank you. Sheila really went into, it was an amazing program talking about strategies to enrich your personal brand. And Sheila, any top thoughts about our program yesterday? Because it's on our YouTube channel. It was really super. I'd like to just pause the recording give you a moment here. Anything coming to you as, the afterglow of our time yesterday?
Yeah, it was so fun visiting about how do you enrich your brand, your personal brand. So I thought, people don't think about that. How do you enrich it? And I loved that word that you came up with. And how do you make it a rich brand? And how does it enrich you personally? So it was fabulous. I started watching the replay and I'm going to finish watching the replay. So hopefully everybody else watches the replay and gets some nuggets. But I loved the topic, and I loved thinking about how to bring your values forth, and how to bring that inner persona out and showcase it, and how it really does not only enrich other people's lives, but it enriches your life, right? What's your dream life? It helps you create your dream life, and just keeps you in harmony with who you are. So it was fabulous. I loved it.
Thank you. Thank you. Big kisses for you. It was awesome. Yes. And you have to watch the replay in order to get Sheila's acronym for rich, because it was rich. Yes, very good. Thank you, Sheila. It was a great, great topic, great program. And we're going to be doing more of those. Really, this is we're at a beautiful buffet of content, opportunities. All of this is a big experiment. And so we're just giving our wonderful listeners, our community, our growing global community, just a little taste of what's new, what's important, and what's relevant now. So you can be irrelevant now, and you can be powerful now. So thank you to you, Sheila. Really good. And of course, watch all of our replays. We've got a huge YouTube channel. Do you know we've had over 33,000 views on our YouTube channel? We're so grateful for that. So take a look. It's a treasure trove. So pivoting today to an important topic, and we have invited one of the world's experts on gathering fellows. Sisters, it's important to have a diversified business, not only in your offers, but also in your audience. And so we're so excited to have Cristina DiGiacomo, and I'm going to go over to the main screen here in a moment. But, are you aware that our brothers, our fellows, our gentlemen, our men in the world are part of 3.97 billion men on the planet, 50.42% of the world's population. And so if we're not working with men, if we're not guiding, mentoring, being listening partners, being trusted advisors to men, we're missing out on half of the population. So we invited Cristina to come and talk about her program, the Philosopher's Council. And I also want to do a shout out for Cristina. Be sure to get her book, Wise Up at Work. Yes, fabulous. I'm wearing red and black in your honor, Cristina, to match up with your book. Yeah, on Amazon and all places where you can get books. Fantastic. So, Cristina, let's talk about your Philosopher's Council. You are an innovator. You are an amazing person. You are so smart. You're one of the smartest people I know on the planet. And you've done this amazing thing with the Philosopher's Council. And I'm just kind of curious, let's spotlight you, if that's okay, let's talk about why men, why now for you?
Oh gosh. So the first thing, I want to just say a couple of things before we get into a conversation around gender, right? So I think it's, anytime we enter into a conversation around gender, it can be very sensitive for people. So I just want to first caveat that I am coming at this with this particular topic in my experience as a cisgendered woman working with cisgendered men. I'm not at all speaking to the trans or non-binary experience. I don't have that experience at all. So I just wanted to say that. The second thing, I'm probably going to say things that women will disagree with. And I'm probably going to put forth ideas that may not be, easily accepted. But I can just say that this has been my experience. And so again, gendered conversations can be very delicate. I apologize. I can't be delicate. I'm just going to tell you like it is. And if you can understand it, great. If not, I don't know what to say about that. So we're going to talk about what is, not what should be. That's how we're going to roll. So I have the Philosopher's Council, and it is organically somehow developed into an all-male group. And I actually really like it that way. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about, partly because the underlying idea is to go with what you want, right? As a woman, right? Is to be open and fearless around what it is that you really, really want. And I think we get messages a lot of times as women consultants or, or experts in our thought leadership, that we, because we're women, that we should or can only cater to other women. And there are women like Kathleen who specialize in that, because I think that's your path, Kathleen. That's your path. I have a slightly different path. So, and it's been kind of presenting itself over and over and over again, which it seems to me that whatever it is that I do and how I work and how I engage and how I enroll and my outreach, whatever it is that I'm doing is attracting the male perspective and men. So that's kind of the lay of the land in terms of how I'm working. And I do have a few pieces of advice if you're interested in incorporating or bringing more men into your business, or if you actually want to develop a side of your business or a core competency in your business catering to men. So I'm just going to take a pause right there before I continue. Are there any questions? Anything that I should elaborate on?
Well, Christina, I'm also curious. This is so fabulous. And, I'm curious about when you started this big experiment with your Philosopher's Council, and, you've had male clients in the past. I'm just kind of curious, like, to step back and say, what was your big why what was the big why that was driving this? Because I know you have a particular perspective that you have about men and, supporting men in their careers. So would you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I feel that, men are worthy of redemption just like everyone else. And I believe that if everyone has an opportunity for personal or professional or self-development or, realization, it's everybody in the world. And so, for me, I've always kind of gravitated towards role models, male role models. It is also something that energetically for me, I do embrace, a masculine side as well. And it's I just understand them, I guess, in a way that maybe most women don't, and that's okay. That's why we're having this conversation. But for me, I've seen what happens when either in a family structure, in a professional structure, in a personal context, what happens when men fall to the wayside by either their own doing or circumstances. And it can be, it can be very difficult and challenging for those around them. And so any opportunity I have to be able to be supportive and help men actualize, I will do that. And philosophy seems to be a you know, a great gateway for that.
Yes. And, gathering men together, it really is part of your specialty is, having the male voice be empowered by you as their guide, their mentor, and I think looking historically throughout, history of philosophers who have had trusted female advisors that maybe weren't at the forefront, but they were a trusted advisor. Could you talk a little bit more about your role as a trusted advisor to these fellows?
Of course. So first, the word Sophia, the name Sophia, is love of wisdom. So the entity of wisdom and the love of wisdom is female. Diotima is a character, is a woman who Socrates called his teacher. So the most iconic philosopher in the world of any age had a woman as his teacher. So I'm only following really in the ancient tradition, and for me, being in this role with a group of men, it's interesting because I don't necessarily call out that I'm a woman in the group. It's almost as if that doesn't even enter into the conversation. It's not even very really recognized. Someone could say, oh, you're just like one of the guys, but it's not that. It's something that's occurring on a much subtler level. And what's actually occurring is in order to bond, for the men to bond, the notion of gender does not exist, if that makes sense. And now we're getting into that territory of sensitivity for maybe women who might be a little bit like, what do you mean? Are you erasing yourself as a woman in order to be able to lead these men? And I erase the sort of stereotypical accessories of womanhood in order to lead these men. I don't use femme-centric language. Like I use regular, I don't necessarily talk about what it means to be female. It's not even a subject. We don't talk about what it means to be male. It's not even a subject. We transcend gender in the group. And that's how I think they stay engaged. And that's what I think is so attractive to bringing them in. I could say more about that, but I just want to take a pause because I know I usually drop a lot in one go. So
yeah, and I mean this topic, this area of expertise that you have, I mean, we're going to have to do another lengthier program on this. And this is, note to our viewers, this is how we cultivate new IP in the council. And so, I'm sure, Sheila, you can see that this could be a real body of work for our sister here, of how to do this. And, I think also, Christina, what I'm hearing is you really hear the humanity of the people in the room, and their gender in that moment is not really important. It's their humanity or their humanness.
yeah, the
Come up with
gender,
a better word than human,
yeah,
whatever. Yes, yeah.
The gender becomes a liability in the conversation.
Yeah,
it is a label that tends to constrain and constrict the availability of inspired ideas. And again, this is very controversial, what I'm saying. One way to put it is the artist Mondrian said that when you label something, you lose the connection to the divine. And so by recognizing ourselves as, I'm Cristina as a woman, and in a group of men, or the group of men as a group of men, we limit the possibility of being able to connect with each other on an intellectual, ideological level. And so that's why I think that this is working. You know, we're women, so we know what it feels like to be in a femme space. There's a language, I call it estrogenical. Like there's an estrogenical language we use, you know, the feminine perspective, like there's a whole, that does not exist in how I engage with men. And that's why I think they feel comfortable engaging with me. It's not even in the room.
Yeah, sounds like you check it at the door.
Yes.
And yeah, and prepare the space, Cristina. And so for everyone watching this too, is notice how Cristina is preparing the space for her group, and she's understanding what's being not said in the room, and you're really appropriate and leveling up, Cristina, the conversation, really giving these participants who happen to be male, you know, a safe space, but yet, you know, you don't lose all of what you are, but the label is gone.
Exactly. Believe me, there are things that are said in the group that, you know, if there was a woman in the group that over-identified or was attached to her femaleness or womanness, there would be a sensitivity. And because my group is strictly about the ability to share ideas openly and be challenged, there's no room for that kind of sensitivity. And it's about the discussion of the idea as opposed to who it comes from and who it could potentially offend. And I've had the fellows tell me that the group is the only place where they feel comfortable being challenged and being able to share their ideas. And it doesn't matter what people's politics are, it doesn't matter where they come from, it doesn't matter how much money they have, what their status is, and really underlying all of that, what the gender is.
Excellent. Excellent. Wow. So leaning in, Sheila, questions as we kind of wrap up, because this is like a whole program. We're going to be doing this as a whole program of, you know, how do you really create an experiment with councils and masterminds and groups and bringing people together. And Cristina, you're masterful at this. Congratulations to you.
Thank
Sheila,
you.
what's coming? What's emerging for you?
Fantastic, Cristina. Thank you so much. I love your ability to be able to, what Kathleen says, check it at the door when you go into that group, that you come together as human beings, right? And can have this intellectual conversation, and you can be you, they can be them, everybody can be who they are. What I'm curious on, and we may not be able to answer this now, but it's what about those women? What about those people that just want to enter that space as who they are, right? They really do have a feminine side. They can't shut that off. Then how does that type of a person interact with a male, right? How does that female interact with the male group when they can't turn that off? I mean, you know, do you understand that question? Where
I think I do. And the
like,
answer,
like, they have to be able to respect that
I think the answer goes more towards there's nothing to turn off.
Right. True.
Right. So what happens a lot of times is there's like, we present something incongruous, meaning we want to show up authentically and fearlessly, and yet we have the sound or the presentation of coy, or playing dumb, or maybe even more forthright, overcompensating. And the truth, the congruous part of ourselves is not appearing. And so we get all of these ideas about how we should talk, how we should look, how we this and that, when all is needed is just presenting yourself in the most truthful way you possibly can. So the answer is, what are you turning off?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you need to turn on?
Mm-hmm.
Because those sorts of things that we tell ourselves, that's not even in their minds at all. Like they perceive and engage with the world in a very, like, what you see is what you get, black and white. So when they experience that incongruousness, their body and their minds are kind of like, who are we getting? Like, what is this? Like, how do we respond to this? And then it's immediately, there's a barrier, and there's a layer there that cannot be breached because the truth is not present.
That's good.
Powerful. Powerful. Yeah. Cristina, as we complete our time, wow. I mean, viewers, this is, brothers and sisters and everybody watching this is powerful. Cristina, awesome. Last word for you, Cristina. Yeah, what, and we're going to be doing a more robust program about this because it's really important. Yeah. What would you like to say to kind of wrap up, Cristina? And we want to keep going, but our time's getting done here, completed. Yeah.
I think we should just feel like we should be able to work with whoever the F we want. And that's it.
Folks, that's a mic drop right there. I would drop my mic, except
Don't drop that.
Don't drop that.
Please don't drop that.
Oh, how awesome. Thank you, Sparkle.
Thank you so much for having me. I love you guys so much.
Yeah. Thank you. So let me put a little, wrap a little bow on our beautiful time together with Cristina DiGiacomo. Excellent. Thank you so much. So happy that you were here talking about this important topic. And, there's an art and science to this. And Cristina is a teacher. She's a mentor. She's a guide. Heck, she's written the book on how to wise up at work. So really love that. And, think for yourself as you're watching this replay. We really want you to think about what's your big one takeaway. And of course, what's your next big bold step? Okay. And tomorrow, oh my goodness, we're going to put a fabulous bookend on our amazing Back to School Biz Bootcamp with Catherine Sellery. Wow. Same time, 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And Catherine Sellery is building a legacy business that is so impressive, building it to last, how to grow and scale your successful business, your thought leader business. Catherine is doing it. And she's going to talk tomorrow about all of the pieces that she's put in place. You're going to be so impressed, so inspired, and so motivated that this is the freedom lifestyle that we're really all living and going for. So we invite you as we complete our time. Thank you so much for watching our broadcast. And of course, big shout out for Cristina DiGiacomo. Thank you. And Sheila Anderson yesterday and all of our speakers. We want you to join our council. Come join us. We want to promote you, showcase you, and highlight you, and most importantly, celebrate you in our council. Schedule a one-on-one with me, Kathleen Caldwell, at Calendly. Let's talk about your business, your legacy, your success, whatever's important to you. We want to support you 110%. So with that, thanks. Just bye for now. We've had such a beautiful time. Big kisses to you, Cristina. Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.